Hi all, welcome to Learn Code Repeat. Today we'll be looking at day 27 of the September Lead Code Challenge. The name of the problem is Evaluate Division. This has been asked by Google. Let's look into the problem. So the problem says you are given equations in the format a divided by b equal to k, where a and b are variables represented as strings and k is a real number, floating point number. Given some queries, return the answers. If the answer does not exist, return minus 1.0. The input is always valid. You may assume that evaluating the queries will result in no division by 0 and there is no contradiction. So this is the input equal to equation equal to a comma b. So when it says a comma b, it means a divided by b and the value is in the values array, so it's 2.0. Similarly, b divided by c, the answer is 3.0. So here are two equations that is provided to us. So let's take a look into the example and let's see how the output is arrived. So this is the same example. So what they have said is a comma b, so that is same as a by b equals to 2.0, and then it is b by c equals to 3.0. Okay, these are the two equations that is provided to us. Now there are a couple of queries and we have to give the answers for those queries. So the queries is a comma c, which means a by c. What is a by c? Equal to how much, right? Now we know that a by b equal to 2, right? So from first we can say that a equals to 2 times b, right? And similarly from second we can say that b equals to 3 times c, or that is c equals to b by 3. We can say this way as well, right? So let's replace those values of a and c in our equation. So a is nothing but 2b and c is nothing but it's b by 3. Okay, that is nothing but b into 1 by 3. So b and b gets cancelled. So 2 upon 1 by 3 is equal to 2 into 3, which is equal to 6.0. Okay, so my first output is 6.0. Similarly, b by a, right? So this was my first query output. The second query output is b by a. We have to find b by a. So here b again is b equal to 3c and a equal to 2b, right? So here a by b is 2.0. So a by b equals to 2.0. This is provided to us. So if you take the reverse, right, b by a equal to, it will be 1 by 2, which is nothing but 0.5, right? So that's how we got this answer. Okay, now if we take a by e, right, we have been provided variable a and b, but there is no e, right? So whenever we find a variable in the query which is not there in the equation, we can directly return -1. Okay, now a by a, any number by the same number is 1, right? So that's why here it is 1, provided that variable should be there in the equation. Now let's take the next example, x by x. Here also the same variable upon itself should be 1, but x variable is not in the equation, right? Since we don't have that x variable in the equation, we should return -1. So if you see here, right, the pattern that we have is a by b equals to 2. This is something that is provided to us, right? So if I store this in a kind of a map, right, where I say that a to b, the value equals to 2, right? So this will be my key and this will be my value, right? Value is again a kind of a hash map, right? So let's say the next equation is b to c, right? So b to c equals to 3.0, right? 3. Now if I want to find a to c, right, I can go from a to b and then here I can go from b to c, right? I can form a graph basically, a to b and then b to c, and we can say that a to b is 2. So 2 is the edge value or the edge weight of the graph, right? And b to c is the edge weight of this graph, right? Now a to c, if I want to find a to c, I can simply multiply the edge weights of these two graphs, right? A to b and b to c, or the edge weights of these two paths, right? So 2 into 3 is c. So a to c will be 6, which is what we got here. A divided by c is 6, right? Now what if I want to find b by a, right? So in that case I need to create one more path from b to a, and the value will be nothing but a reciprocal of this number, right, which is 1 by 2. Similarly, C to B will be 1 by 3. So if I have the value of B to C, I can very well find the value from C to B, which will be the reciprocal of that, which is 1 by 3, right. And if I have that, that means I can also find the value of C to A, right. So if it is, if the question says C divided by A is equal to how much, right, I can find here that it is 1 by 6. So this will be 1 by 6, right, whatever is the value of 1 by 6, that should be the answer. Okay. So how can we build the graph, right, and find this answer, right. So if I have A can have B, A can have C, right, if provided if there is A comma B as one equation, and let us say B comma C is another equation, and A comma C is also one more equation, right. So A is having equation of B and C, right. So A can point to B and C, and then A to B, the corresponding value I can store it in one map. So here let us say it is 2 and A to C is let us say 6, right. Similarly for B it can have A currently, and for C it can have A, right, and C to A will be the reciprocal of that, and C to A will be 1 by 6 and B to A will be 1 by 2, right. So C to A will be 1 by 6 and B to A will be 1 by 2, which is the reciprocal of this and this, right. So we can build a hash map like this, and to find for a given query, if we want to find the answer, we can just do a DFS of that, starting from the start point going up to the end point. So if it is A to B and B to C, right, like in this one, right, we have just A to B, we do not have A to C here as a equation, right. So we know that A to B is there, and then the reciprocal of that is B to A, and then we have B to C, and the reciprocal of that is C to B, right. Now if we need to query for A to C, we can go from A to B, then again from B to we can go to C, right. So we can get a DFS, right, for the elements in the map we can find for A, and for each value do a DFS again to find out what are the values of that particular key, right. So for A the values are B, then for B find out what are the other values. So B will have the value of A and B will have the value of C, right. Again do a DFS in that until we find the destination of C here, right. And for each DFS we do a product of the values of that particular edge, right. So if this is a graph, so for each we do a product of that. So if we need to find A to C, it will be a product of whatever is the weight of this particular path into the weight of this. Okay. So there are only two steps here to solve this problem. First is we have to build the graph, and the second is do the DFS. Okay. So to build the graph for each equation, right, let us say the number of elements is n in the equation. So we will be building 2 times n, right, because for each equation we have to do A to B and B to A, right. We have to do 2 entries, one for the actual cost and one for the reciprocal of that cost. So the total space that will be used is 2 of n, which is same as O of n. Okay. And the time complexity here will be for DFS, we will go through for each query, right. So the number of elements in the query, if it is m, right, or let us say the number of elements in the query is if it is q, right. So anyway we have to go through each elements in the query, right. So it will be q times, and for each query we have to do a DFS in the worst case n times, right. That is, we have to go through each equations and see whether it satisfies the query value, right. So here it will be n, q times n. So my time complexity will be O of q times n, and my space complexity will be O of n. Okay. So let us look into the code here. So first I will declare a map with key as string and value as again map of string comma double, and then we need to build that map. I will pass the map, I need the equations and the values. So we have to go through the equations and build the map here. So first thing, we'll check if the key is already present. So this is my current equation EQ. I'll check whether the start variable of the equation is already present in the map. So if the map doesn't contains the key, I'll create a key with empty hash map in it as a value, and then I'll put the actual value. So here I'm adding for the variable A, the corresponding values is the variable B and the actual value. So if in the graph, if this is vertex A, this is vertex B, and the path value is the values of I. Now similarly I need to do it for the reciprocal of that, that is B to A, right? So I'll do it here. So instead of 0 it will be 1, here instead of 0 again it will be 1, and instead of values of I it should be 1 by values of I. Okay, so this way my map will be built. Once I'm done with this build map, my map is populated. Now once my map is populated, I need to go through the queries and check a DFS on the map object and see whether that value exists. So for int I equal to 0, I is less than queries dot size. Let's say q is my current query. So once I go to the query, I will do a DFS on the map and I will store the result. So to store the result needs to be a double, right? So I will declare a double result here, and the length of the result will be the length of the queries. So in the DFS, I will need to pass my map, the variable a of query. So q dot get of 0, the variable b of the query, so dot get of 1, and also I will have to check, since we are going through the map, right, we have to make sure that we don't revisit a node which was already visited, right? So we'll create a visited asset here probably, so set of string, and this will just make sure that for that given loop we are not visiting the node again which we have already visited. And this DFS will return me a double value which is the result of that equation, right? And say the result of I equals to, now if let's say it's D double, because if it's invalid then we need to populate it with a minus 1.0, right? So whenever it is invalid, right, we can return this as a null value, and here we can simply do a check. If this is null, then minus 1.0, else whatever is the value in the result, and at the end we can return the result. Now let's write the DFS function here. So in DFS we need the map and the variable, let's say q1 and q2, and the visited set. Okay, now the very first condition will be, we can check the visited, right? If visited dot contains my q1, in that case return null, right? So the first variable, right, if so here let's say this is q2 instead of q3. So from q1 to q2 we are going, right, we are trying to find the equation q1 divided by q2, what is the value. So in terms of graph we are trying to go from q1 to q2. Now if q1 is already visited, then we don't need to visit it again, so let's return null in that case. Similarly, if q1 itself is not present in the map and also q2 is not present in the map, we cannot find the answer, right? So in that case also we have to return null. So let's write that condition as well. Now what if the q1 to q2 is present in my map and I can directly get the value out of that, right? In that case I can directly return the value, right? So that will be my another condition. If map dot get of q1 dot get of q2 is not equal to null, in that case I can directly return this value, correct? So now if none of this condition is true, right, then we have to add this current q1 into the visited map and then we'll do a DFS from there, right? So let's add this into visited dot add q1 and then I'll do a DFS for the values of it, right? So q1 dot get, rather map dot get q1. So map dot get q1 will return me a map of string comma double. It's called q1 val equal to this, and then I'll go over these values dot key set. So now I'm going over each of the keys in the q1 val map and I'll do a DFS for that. Okay, your double D equals to DFS of, so my map is current map and q1 is my current S, right? So q1 will be my current S, which is the current key. q2 will be the same q2 which is in this method, and visited will be the same. Now if this D is not equal to null, in that case I need to return this value, right? That means we found a path for this particular key, right, S, and in that case we can return the value. So the value will be whatever is the value of this D, so the path of that particular node onwards into the current value of this, right? So it will be S dot or rather q1 val dot get of S, right? This will give me the value of my current path to D, right? So for example, if it is like A to B and B to C, okay, if it is A to B, B to C, right, and we need to find out A to C, right? So we first found out A to B, okay, and then here we are going through all the values of B, right? So here we are passing B and we found B to C, so this returned me the value of B to C. Now if I need to return back, right, I need to also multiply the value of A to B, right? So that's what we are doing here. So D is the value of B to C and q1 dot val dot get of S will give me the value or the path of A to B, right? What is the weight for that particular path A to B? So that's what we are doing here. And at the end of the for loop, if we are not able to find any path, then we can safely return null. Okay, that means there was no path. Okay, so this is the DFS function, and so DFS at the end it will give the D here. If D is equal to null, then we are returning -1, else we are returning D. Okay, so yeah, I think this should be good. Let's run this code. And the expected answer is fine, so let's submit this, and the answer is accepted. So as I said during the explanation, the complexity of this will be, since we are building a map and storing it in the map, this will be O of n, the space complexity, and the time complexity will be, since we are going through all the queries here, so if we call q is the size of the query, so we are doing O of q times, and then in the DFS we are going through all the elements in the map, right, which is n. So q times n is the time complexity here. So that's it for this video. Please hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed it already. Thank you.